The gentlelady has used a phrase that is considered a slur in the LGBTQ community and the transgender community. And let me please finish without interruption. And
tranny. I don't really care. You want penises in women's bathrooms, and I'm not going to have it.
Okay.
No, thank you.
It's
disgusting.
There's a couple things I have to say about that, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
What about trans women that have had bottom surgery? Apparently, if this all consists of a penis in a woman's bathroom, Nancy Mace, there's a population that does not qualify under that as trans women. So what about them? Can they go in the bathroom? The other thing is Nancy Mace and another legislature, they accosted a woman who they thought was Congresswoman Sarah McBride in the bathroom, and it was a cis woman. There is so many problems with her. I don't know. Well, I know what's wrong with her. She didn't used to be like this, though. She used to be a proponent of LGBTQ rights. And then this spotlight and everything else, these people have sold their souls to the devil. And I don't know if that devil's Elon Musk or Donald Trump or Russia, but it's one of the three.
Yeah. You also, on Blue Sky, said since all the transphobes are quiet about the possibility of the Department of Education getting eliminated, I guess it was never about protecting women's sports after all, since DOE is in the department that enforces Title IX. I mean, it's just Trump today at the prayer breakfast, just talking about, keeping men out of women's sports. Like, it's just... there was one other headline. I can't even hang on. I'll find it.
While you do that, I just want to give a little statistic. There are over 550,000 athletes in the NCAA. As right now, they know of less than 10 transgender athletes, and they don't even have numbers on how many of them are trans men and trans women. Less than 10 in 550,000 athletes. This is not a threat to women's sports.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I said. I'm like, eggs are twice as expensive as they were a month ago, but that one girl can't play badminton in your state. Like,
under this theory, how many men have sexually assaulted women? I'm sure it's probably more than the ratio of athletes that are trans within the NCAA. So maybe we should just keep it so that no men can go out in public anymore because they're a threat to women.
Yeah.
That's the exact school of thought. It's absurd.
Here's the headline. Christian group cheers end to U.S. food aid. It's what they get for spreading radical LGBTQ propaganda. Exactly as Jesus would do, right?
Yes. What would Jesus do? They would starve people just so they had the physique that he did when they put him on the cross. Like, they're insane. They're always insane.
Yep.
You also said we're at the point in this horrible timeline where they around, but we're all finding out, and I've paid too much money to my therapist for this kind of codependent bull. It's true. We are all trapped in the burning, self-driving Tesla.
Yes.
We really are. The doors won't unlock. The base thing we have to do right now is learn how to overtake the system. I really want people to understand this is intentional. The influx, the flooding of the zone is intentional. The chaos is intentional. This insane theory that he's going to take over Gaza and make the Riviera of the Middle East has so many problems in it, including Hamas, that's not just going to step by and be like, okay. But he's doing that so you stop paying attention to the fact that Elon Musk is doing a smash and grab with the federal government. So all of this is intentional, you guys. And I say you guys, sorry, I hate that pejorative word, but everyone out there needs to really take a breath and be like, okay, I can't respond to everything. So maybe for a little while, try if you can to not respond to anything quite yet.
Right.
Like until it really is input into law.
Yeah.
And here's, what I will say is nobody did vote for this. Harry Enton, who's the, data guy on CNN, said, I think simply put, the American people did not sign up for this. They voted in Trump. They didn't vote in Elon Musk. So he was stunned by the plunge in Elon Musk's popularity. I mean, it's... He says 39 support, 53 oppose. They don't want this. He said, look, in 2025, whoa, the bottom has fallen out, minus 11 points. It should be noted Trump's own net favorable rating is closer to about a net zero. I mean, again, Dana, I guess we are in the find out phase, but I don't know. Again, we were talking about just the massive disinformation and how they spin everything on Fox. Like this ridiculous
Absolutely.
him caving to Mexico and Canada and them spinning it as some great victory or negotiation when he actually got less troops from Mexico than Biden had. And he's like,
there was
I win
15,000
again.
under Biden.
Right.
At least these people are coming out. The New York Times this morning, and they're sketchy. They actually did say in an article that these countries, Mexico and Canada, had basically, the art of the deal, giving him exactly what he said he asked for when it was less than they already doing.
Right.
It's already things they had given. He's getting conned with his own con, and it's making him look really weak and stupid right now. It really is.
Yeah. He always, the world's laughing at us. Like, no, now they are. Right. I mean, seriously. Yeah. And I was talking about him. Oh, God, I had to endure because it was on the channel. They covered his entire prayer breakfast insanity. First of all, he seemed heavily tranquilized. He was rambling incoherently about the plane crash and golf balls and the equipment, and I don't even know what he was talking about. You just said when asked if he was going to the crash site, he said, "What site? The water? You want me to go swimming?" You said this is one of the last pictures of a young skater who died. He is a sociopath. Anyone who voted for this monster should be ashamed at best. I mean, we just had Carl Frisch on. They lost four parents and two kids from his school district. And here's Trump again, just pulling stuff out of his ass. Like, maybe the equipment was, we don't know, big balls never hit each other when I'm out golfing. Like the balls, you're just like, what? Oh my God, shut up.
I'm so glad I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
You're talking about the influx, and one of the things on the Daily Beans that someone did, we have our Good Trouble segment, they infiltrated a couple of Republican Facebook pages and started posting facts about what Elon Musk is doing with the federal agencies and their personal information, because all of these people are watching Fox News. Well, they're not covering it there. They're not reading it in Breitbart. So this person went in and really, really calmly just said, I want you all to know that this is what's happening. And a few people laughed. A few people didn't care. But there were some Trumpers in these rooms that were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my
Heroes
God,
of democracy.
Okay. No. Yeah.
No, this is why we have a stack Heroes of Democracy. And we were, just this morning, right? Norm Eisen's group sued and
they got an injunction against Musk and Trump rooting around in the Treasury.
Yeah. So that's my point, is it right? And
defending our nation from the clutches of fascist idiocracy, we proudly present Heroes of Democracy.
Labor unions sued the federal government over Trump's controversial deferred resignation program, saying the effort to nudge government workers out of their jobs violates the law. I say all of the above, Dana. I keep saying this. City of Baltimore is suing the Trump administration, alleging the president's executive orders and diversity, equity, and inclusion programs violate the First and Fifth Amendments. We still have the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
City's part of a broad coalition that includes higher education officers to file a lawsuit in a Maryland federal court. The suit alleges executive orders violate free speech, obstruct Congress's constitutional powers to control money, solely because the president disagrees with those programs. Doctors for America on Tuesday sued the main U.S. health agencies over the sudden removal of websites containing a broad range of health-related data and other information. I know it's a lot, Dana, but people are doing it, right?
Yeah.
There are heroes of democracy out there that are modeling courage and not cowardice, right?
Absolutely. There's people fighting back, and I love to see it. If you feel safe and you feel like you have a voice out there, push back. I mean, we have to do it right now more than anything. I think that some of our political leaders are now finally starting to speak up. I'm sure there's stuff going on behind the scenes we don't know about, but I want a public coordinated attack on this.
Yep. I've
said it before. Everyone, we've got to get our messaging, and every single Democrat has got to be throwing it out at the same time. Go ahead, Steph.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. I was not done with my heroes of democracy. ACLU, the Immigration Advocacy Group sued the Trump administration over its ban on asylum access at the southern border, saying the sweeping regulations illegally put people who are fleeing war and persecution in harm's way. This one, and it's also it's also in the F around and find out stack. Okay. The Proud Boys no longer have control over their own name. Under a ruling by a Washington judge, they were stripped of the name Proud Boys and were barred from selling any merchandise with either its name or symbols without the consent of a black church in Washington that its members vandalized. Do you remember this, Enrico?
I do. It was in 2022. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, 2020. Sorry, they went out, and it was after the Stop the Steal. They tried to go out in the streets. They burned a Black Lives Matter flag. And they actually, instead of paying restitution, they lost their name, which is hysterical because they can't sell or print any more merchandise without the permission from the black church.
It's fantastic. One last hero of democracy. I already mentioned the 60 Minutes producer says he will not apologize. So CBS hands over the Kamala Harris interview and transcript, and he says they have nothing to apologize for. And on cue last night, Trump raged that CBS should be shut down. over the interview. So it will never be enough for them. Once fascism starts, and so good for this guy for standing up at least. I hope they don't settle the lawsuit because they're obviously in settlement talks to bend the knee, right?
And I think a lot of, honestly, and I know this goes way deeper, I think a lot of MAGA are still so angry out there because they hate the parts of themselves that are being amplified by this president. And because they know better. They really know in the depths of themselves, wow, they are shitty. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Yes, get that dump button,
get
Bella.
that, get that.
Okay. You're taxing the baby.
I know it's the first time I've done that in like a year. I'm used to doing the daily beans. Did you get it? Okay,
She's just a baby.
That's
Okay,
the
she
first
got
time
it.
she's had to do that.
She got it. Nicely done, Bella. Nicely done. That
Thank
potty
you,
mouth.
Bella. They are crappy people.
You just aged her. She's like 30 now. She was 22 yesterday.
Someone needed to get her into this, and I'm glad it was me.
Yes.
Oh, hey there, it's Stephanie Miller. If you're like me and you love sharp political insight, pointy, you like it pointy and sharp, bold opinions, and a touch of humor to make sense of these crazy times, have I got some fantastic news for you. The Political Voices Network is now on Substack. This is your new go-to for the best in independent media. We're talking about my show streaming daily with episodes on demand, the fearless of journalism of Brian Karem, the brilliant side-splitting satire of John Fugelsang, the unrelenting working class advocacy of Rick Smith, and so much more. Here's the best part. Subscribing is so easy. You can join for free or go to the extra mile. Support these incredible independent voices by signing up for a full subscription starting at just $8. You'll get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and a chance to directly fuel fearless, unfiltered media. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Hit that subscribe button and become part of the movement keeping truth alive in an era of corporate media overload. Every subscription helps, especially yours. One more time, that is politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Sign up now. Do it.